I think we're doing good. Every day we're stacking days, getting better and better. You know, we've been together now. This is going on pretty much our 4th year as a unit, and there's still little things that every unit's got to work on and get better at. And I feel through training camp we're climbing that mountain and getting there.
How cool is it going to be to actually be able to spend time with these guys again, away from the field as a group like it used to be with dinner and cooking?
Oh, yeah, it's huge. You know, last year was so weird. You know, I think after week 3 or 4 is when they kind of shut down, being able to actually hang out with each other outside football. So that, you know, as an offensive line, as you mentioned, we used to go out to dinner every like Thursday night, different local restaurant here in Tampa, and being able to potentially do that again is going to be awesome.
Ryan, you got the starting 5 back. Obviously, you got the city back, roll back. Of the newcomers or the young guys, who has shown you something so far?
You know, Robert is the kid loves football, and he's gonna be a good football player. So Hainsey has definitely showed me some stuff. Nick Leverett, I was actually really big on Nick last year. He's really climbing, and he's been showing a lot of good stuff to me, you know, in my eyes. But you know, really, you know, like you mentioned, like kind of the first 7 are really coming together really well, and the young guys are really starting to figure it out and step their game up too.
Ryan, talk about how this organization has always made it a point to honor the military.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, with the Bucs obviously having today being Military Day, having a bunch of military members out here is huge. It's they deserve it. You know, military is huge for me. I do a lot of stuff, a lot of work with the military, and for me, seeing the military members out here, having the paratroopers flying in, it's just awesome. You know, they do so much for us, and for the organization being able to do a lot in return for the military is big in my mind.
Ryan, there came a point last year where your offense just ascended, right? Is that time on task? Was it schematic? Did you have more play action? Was it running the ball? Like what helped you guys, kind of grow?
Yeah, I think for us, everything just kind of clicked. You know, not having a traditional training camp, not having the traditional OTAs, you know, preseason games, stuff like that. New quarterback. You know, I think finally everything just started to click for us. And as you can see, when it started to click, you know, we went to the moon. And I think that's just something with any offense every year is eventually you got to get that gel in and you got to start clicking. And for us last year, we clicked at the right time. And for us this year, we want to consistently play that way.
What was it about that bye week? And I know on the other side of the ball, Jamel Dean said it was like after the bye week, you grew up. But for you guys on the offensive side of the ball, what was it about the bye week that allowed you guys to start clicking and have that ascent?
You know, I think some of it was honestly just the break, getting away for a couple days and refreshing the mind, refreshing the body, and then coming back and you know, gave the coaches time to kind of change up game plan, do whatever they needed to do to get that you know, get us right. And then as a collective, we just, you know, we made a decision that we were going to be great and just took off with it.
I know that Hainsey is obviously having to adjust to snapping balls and things like that. I'm curious from what you can remember, how much of a difference did you experience year 1 to year 2? You know, when you had a full off season to be able to be in an NFL weight room and like, you know, really focus on strength. You don't get that when you have that, you know, build up leading up to the draft and training camp when you're a rookie.
Yeah, for me, I mean, that seems like a long time ago for me now. You know, same kind of situation with Haynes. I was a tackle in college when I got drafted to Baltimore, and they immediately just threw me into to center, and I was swimming upstream. Like I was struggling, snapping the ball. I'd played center in high school, and you know, that's just something that with repetition and knowledge of the game, it will, you know, once you figure that out, the game comes a lot slower and it comes a lot easier. You know, snapping the ball, shotgun, whatever, that's tough. But it's, you know, eventually it starts getting second nature and you stop thinking about it.
When you are making that transition from tackle to playing on the inside, how much of that adjustment is like weight room strength versus like technique strength, like being able to actually apply it?
I think there's a little bit of both. You know, everybody that comes out of, you know, college is usually pretty strong, but there's a difference between college strength and NFL strength. And you know, outside, especially, you know, playing tackle in college, you're going against 245, 250 pound guys, where you get in the NFL and all of a sudden those outside linebackers, DNs are 285, 300 plus. there's some difference. And then, transitioning to the inside from playing tackle to guard, everything just happens a lot faster. And getting that adjustment period along with guys being, 320 plus most of the time, there's just some transition from, the weight room onto the field and technique and stuff like that.
Ryan, what did you learn about Brady in a year with him, and how when he comes back, he's been here before, right? I know you guys are all turning the page, but what did you gather from that guy?
Yeah, the first year with Tom, obviously, it's you learn a lot. Just the small intricacies that he applies into his game, whether it be eating, his routine every day. That stuff kind of wears off on guys and shows you how he does it. And for me, like just taking little things that he does and applying it to myself or other guys applying certain little things. I think that just it helps. And the immense knowledge of football that he's seen, it helps, like talking to him about certain things. Oh, why do you see it this way? Yeah, he sees the game different. And then for me, like, oh, why do you see it this way? And he goes, oh, well, here. Then you start, as a center, I start seeing that kind of stuff. And, we start getting on the same page when it comes to point protections and stuff like that.
How important is that connection with him when you guys are talking and having those conversations in a year like this year where you've got these guys on defense now that can run all kinds of numbers and you're having to account for extra blitzers and everything? And he even talked about that, or I should say put it out on his social media. Have you guys talked about that and the challenges of that this year and how you're going to kind of deal with that? Or?
Yeah, I think for a lot of it just comes from prep during the week, making sure, every week we get a depth chart for the team we're playing against, and really it's just going to take it's going to take another extra 20, 30 minutes, studying, making sure you know the numbers. It'd be challenging, I think, at first. When you have for example. I just blanked his name. Our first round pick this year, wearing number 9. Sometimes he's wearing number 9. It kind of confuses you because as you're scanning, you see 54, 45, 9, and you're like, okay, well, is that a safety? Who is So it takes a second. But
Like, where's the mic?
yeah, exactly. So it's going to take some adjustment, but I think like anything, you get used to it, and it'll just come second nature.
Ryan, you're not a wide-eyed rookie, but do you ever allow yourself to think like, I'm snapping the ball to a freaking legend? Does that ever come through your mind?
A little bit, more so last year when that craze, when all that happened with Tom signing and never thinking that was actually going to be a realistic thing to happen. It was like, when he got in the league, I was 10 years old, so it's crazy. I've seen him, play for a lot of years, and to be able to, play with him is awesome.